From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Braden Neville.
On today's episode, the Ticats announced several free agents, and we hear from two of them. DeWayne Hendrix, as he discusses making his way down the QEW from Toronto to Hamilton, and Courtney Stevens sits down with Ticats' newest DB, Jamal Peters. It's Wednesday, February 14th, 2024, and you're listening to Ticats Today. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you that have a Valentine today or celebrate Valentine's Day, and for those of you who don't, then I guess happy Wednesday and happy free agency day, because the Ticats had a big day in the CFL as the free agency continued, having several signings, including two that we will hear from today. The club announcing that they've signed receiver Luther Hakununavanu to a 2-year deal. He was in Calgary last year, and funny enough, actually caught his first pass from Bo Levi Mitchell right here at Tim Hortons Field in 2021. They really did add some pieces on defense with 3 ex-Argos making their way down the QEW. D lineman Brandon Barlow signed for 2 seasons, coming off a monster year that saw him get 9 sacks in just 14 games last season. Jamal Peters signed a 1-year deal. He had 4 picks in just 13 games last season. And of course, the Ticats signing DeWayne Hendrix, another D lineman who had a career year with 6 sacks. And he sat down with me to discuss joining the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
All right, DeWayne, a big day for you. How does it feel to know that you're now a Hamilton Tiger Cat?
It feels good. It's been a long process through free agency, but I'm finally glad I'm home.
And you're here with a lot of familiar faces, a few guys coming over here from the Argos. Does it help to have that familiarity and have some guys that you played with last year here with you?
It definitely feels good coming over with some guys that I played with recently, but I'm excited about getting to know everyone here too.
And what was that process for you like to sign here and that whole free agency process for you?
Going back and forth with just everybody and trying to figure out, what's best for me and my family was tough. But when it came down to it, Hamilton was just the right fit for my family. I was excited.
In Hamilton, football is number one. Does it excite you to come to a fan base that loves football and has that passion for football here and that they do in Hamilton?
Absolutely. Every time we came to Hamilton, it was exciting. Fans was loud, screaming. It's definitely a place you want to play at.
And then head coach Scott Milanovich, it'll be his first year as head coach here in Hamilton. But what have those conversations been like with him and talking to him since you came here?
He's just excited to get going, really passionate coach, ready to get started. I just can't wait to get going with him. Just from talking over the phone, he gets me fired up.
Now, for those fans who might not be familiar with your game, what kind of player would you describe yourself as?
I would say very explosive, someone that just loves to get in the backfield and disrupt.
There's going to be a guy next to you that had a big year last year, Casey Sales. Well, what do you know about Casey, and has he talked to you at all since you came over here?
Yeah, Casey's he's just always been a beast. I've been knowing him for some years, even before I came into the CFL. Just being able to play with him and pick off some things, how he moves in and out, it's going to be an exciting year for the both of us.
And then another familiar face down the D-line, Brandon Barlow. But what can you say about him to those fans who are looking to see him play next year?
Barlow was going through ups and downs last year, one of the 1s and 2s, but just overall explosive player, dominant at the point of attack, very physical, super elusive.
6 sacks for you last year, a career high. What was it about last year that made you so successful getting to that QB?
I would say just watching a lot of film and finally putting it all together. Everybody develops at their own speed, and I finally feel like I'm starting to slowly piece it all together.
What have those conversations been like with Coach Washington and then that defensive coordinator for the Hamilton Tiger Cats?
He's just ready to go. He's fired up too. Everybody's just waiting around on me, put the helmet on and just get out there.
Now, off the field, what do you like to do? What do you do on your downtime?
I spend time with the family, work out, play video games, do a little meditation now that I'm getting a little older, yoga, things like that.
Has meditation always been something you've kind of had an interest in?
Not probably around the last 3 years. I was picking up on some guys in the NBA, NFL that were doing it, so I was like, why not?
Is that like a pregame, like get focused kind of thing that kind of clears your mind?
It's like a pregame, get focused, get locked in, get your mind right. It helps a lot.
There's a couple players on the Ticats I think that'll be interested in that too. James Butler's another guy who does meditation. For next year, a big season coming up here, lots of expectations, much like every year. But what are your expectations for this team?
I would say just take it one step at a time, one game at a time. Don't look too far, don't look too far back, don't look too far forward. Just take it one step at a time.
Well, Dwayne, I'll leave it at that, man. But hey, welcome to the team and congratulations on signing for 2 years in Hamilton, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That was DeWayne Hendrix. The Ticats weren't done there. They did sign some players that weren't available at media today, a pair of national players, might I add. Evan Johnson, who was in Saskatchewan last year, an O-lineman with over 100 games played in the CFL, and receiver Brendan O'Leary-Orange, who was with the Bombers last season. I mentioned before, Jamal Peters, a guy who was dangerous on the Argos secondary, has jumped ship to Hamilton, and he sat down with Courtney Stephen to discuss signing with the Black and Gold.
All right, so you just made it official. You chose to come bring your talents over to Hamilton, but why did you choose to come to Steeltown?
Man, basically the attitude, physicality, the dog that this team, they bring, and I want to be a part of that. I mean, something that'll be on my mind, during the free agency period, and I mean, building a relationship with the DC, Ed, and then the players. I know a few guys on the team, so it was only like an easy decision for me.
So, speaking about being a dog, I mean, you play on defense. That's got to be something you take pride in. What would you describe yourself as? Who's Jamal Peters?
Man, Jamal Peters was a different guy on the field. Once I'm, but off the field, funny personality, off the short, outgoing. But man, I play with that dog, that swag, physicality. I'm gonna hit you in your mouth 24/7. I mean, I'm gonna basically make you quit. That's the type of player I am.
I mean, you a big DB. They don't really got too many of those. So, what's your favorite part about football? I mean, you obviously gonna line up against the opponent's best player for the majority of the game, but being a guy who has a unique toolkit, how do you describe your game?
I mean, I can go get the ball, and my ball skill will set the difference between most DBs and me. And then plus I'm a big guy, so I can run. No many people don't think that I can really run. It's just run with your best receiver. But like once I'm in that zone, you can't take me out of it. So I think I say my ball skills and being physical, because most cats ain't gonna try to be physical, basically playing the position that I'm playing. So
I mean, it's hard to argue with the ball skills. 3 seasons, 11 picks, 7 of them against Hamilton. So, do you think you could bring some of that, those ball skills to the defensive backfield over here?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it's God gave me this talent. I mean, I was just living with it, man. I'm just blessed to even just be gifted. You know what I'm saying? But I plan on having a lot of picks in Hamilton.
So, what's your CFL career been like to this point? How would you describe the journey? Because you coming from Mississippi, come up to Canada, last 3 years, how would you describe it?
Man, it's been amazing, man. I mean, year one was kind of, I had to make a name for myself. I mean, I went 2 years without football, tore my MCL, PCL in 2018. So I was lost without football for a minute, but that's when I had to find God. God helped me through my 3 years. And then, I had the opportunity to, showcase my talent. And then once I got comfortable, I mean, I ain't never looked back. So basically it was just either a now or never situation for me, and I took advantage of it, and, I'm just running with it.
So what motivates you to keep pushing now that you've made it through a few seasons, signing a new contract with a new team? It's a fresh start in a lot of ways, but what is keeping you motivated to come in here and have your best season yet?
Man, my family and God. I mean, I'm a family-oriented guy. My mom, my dad, my brother, and my niece, that's who I do it for. I mean, and then I got God on my side, so how can I lose? So, I mean, I'm motivated every day to get up and get the job done. I don't have no bad days. So.
No bad days. That's a great motto to live by. So when folks come out to Tim Hortons Field and they go see you play, is there anything you can tell folks to look forward to, or do you have a message for the people at Hamilton?
Man, I'm bringing that swag, I'm bringing that energy, that mentality, that dog. We're gonna have a lot of fun, man. Year 2024 gonna be fun.
There you go.
Definitely, bro.
Let's run it up, man.
Let's do it.
Appreciate you,
man. Appreciate you.
That was Jamal Peters and Courtney Stephen. Great to see some new faces joining this Ticats roster. Make sure to keep tuning in to Ticats Today, because later on in the week, we will have interviews with Luther Hakuna-Navanu and Brandon Barlow. Plus, I'll be keeping you updated on everything free agency going on in Hamilton. That's all the time for me today, but make sure to tune in next time to Ticats Today.